started. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Encore Thrift Store in Clinton says when they count their blessings at Christmas time, they think of all their friends and customers, old and new. They wish that Christmas may be a happy and a merry one. There's no poem, song, no truer words to express the sentiments than this sincere greeting. Merry Christmas. God bless you. The best of all things to you this holiday season from Encore Thrift Store in Clinton, serving people with disabilities. We're worth the trip.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on this segment of the morning show is Whitney Ortiz. She's the director of the Atlanta, Illinois Tourism Bureau. Good morning, Whitney. How are you?
Good morning, Seth. Well, I am nice and toasty indoors on this chilly day.
I know it, and it's only going to get colder, so stay that way if you will. No doubt. Whitney, it's been a busy time for you. I mean, it feels like, the Memorial Day holiday rolls around, and I mean, literally, you don't stop. You just have something going on all the time for the folks in Atlanta. Tell us about the month of December. What'd you have for them?
Oh, goodness. Where do I begin? So we do a lot for Christmas, and it's only increased since I took over as tourism director. One, because I love the holidays. Who doesn't love Christmas? But also, it's a great time for people on the road to kind of get off the road, enjoy some time like in a small town Christmas feel. People are looking for that. Plus, there's not much going on in people's normal schedules, so it gives them something to do and to look forward to. So we jam-packed our Christmas schedule, and since about Thanksgiving week, we did a market weekend for an indoor holiday market. It's our second year doing it, and we had an increase in attendees this year. We were hitting almost 800 people for this winter market, which surpassed last year's numbers by quite a bit.
That's great.
We usually do like a free. It was awesome, and people really loved it. We had a coffee truck this year, which was new for us. That was a new addition. And it was very popular. I may have helped with the popularity and purchasing my own drinks for me, just a little bit. But it was really cool. And people would come in, they'd grab their drinks, they'd do their shopping. We had Santa come on the Sunday of the market weekend. So for those planning next year, Thanksgiving weekend Sunday, we have a free Santa, free for people to come take photos with him. Not free as in you can take him, but really cool photo opportunity. Lots of kids came out. They got their photos. We had some dogs, some family pictures. It was really cool. And then we had our second ever parade. And I'm happy to say that this year's parade went much smoother than last year's. Last year's was the first time. And, with the first time, there comes some challenges that you don't know until it's rolling out. But this year, it went off without a hitch. And I'm very pleased that it was nice, smooth transition. People enjoyed it. As soon as the parade ended, we have a bricked-in park on Arch Street, which was on the parade route. People were able to kind of go into this bricked-off street area, and we were able to do some Christmas carols. A lot of the children were singing along, just having a good time. And then we did our tree lighting, which was really nice this year to have it in this park area. Last year, so we have this, it's called the Big Tree, and it is a big tree, but it's not in the park. So it's kind of hard to access, and we can't exactly close off the streets around it because they are busy streets in town. So it was a little chaotic for making sure people were safe and getting people out there. And it was off the main route. So this year, having our tree lighting at the smaller but safer Christmas tree was really nice, because it was kind of just like an area that you knew what was happening. It was closed in. It was off the road. We could have the caroling. We had Susan Hoplet did the tree lighting. She's a member of one of Atlanta's first families who came in, the Hoblet family. So it was nice to just have everything in a compact location. And next year we will be doing the same thing in that same park, because it was just so much smoother.
Did the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile make an appearance?
Oh, yes, and that too. Like, this was a crazy month. So So Wienermobile came, I think it was the week before the Christmas chaos. I had seen the Wienermobile was going to be in Springfield. So, being the tourism director, I reached out on Facebook, which was the only platform I could find a contact for them. And I pitched the idea of them coming for a photo op by our giant with a hot dog, because that is, pretty unique, and 19-foot giant holding a massive hot dog, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. You can't really have a better photo opportunity. And they jumped at it right away. Like, as soon as I was able to kind of tell them my vision and tell them about this giant, describing it, they were like, yes, we have to be there. And so they came for about 2 hours. And in 2 hours, we had over 350 people come and take their photos by the Wienermobile with our Bunyan giant in the background.
Wow, that's awesome. That's great. I know that was kind of a last minute thing, so that's pretty exciting that many people came out for it.
It was, because I had, I think, maybe 3.5 days notice. It was not much notice, because they also weren't aware of, if it was going to be able to fit in with their required obligations in the Springfield area. Very fortunate it worked out. And my husband got to ride in the Wienermobile itself. I did not, unfortunately, but he did. And he had a wonderful time on the inside. And the puns that the drivers can make about hot dogs is unbelievable. It's crazy.
That's amazing. That is amazing stuff right there.
It's an art.
It really is. It really is. Anything else from December, Whitney, or in the early holiday season? Anything like that we haven't touched on you want to highlight?
So we started this tradition last year here in Atlanta, where we have a big, open, beautiful green park on Route 66, and we call it Xenia Park. It's right across from Arch Street Artisans, if people know where that's at. And we started last year with just a handful of trees that we placed as kind of like a border between the road and the buildings. So it's like a nice border. It's Christmas trees, and we had people and businesses decorate them last year, similar to what a lot of communities are doing. But this year, we actually doubled the Christmas trees. So we have a nice little evergreen fence, and it's absolutely beautiful. And we had families, businesses, and organizations pitch in to help decorate it. I actually personally bought one myself, too, to decorate. And it's just really cool. If you come at night, you can see it. There's a couple of trees that stand out. One of them is Chubby's Bar and Grill. Their tree is the tastiest of them all, because their ornaments are hot dogs, French fries, and tacos, and it's so funny.
Very good. So busy holiday season for folks. Now, anything coming up, Whitney, yet still between now and the 5 days away from Christmas, I guess?
Nothing much on my radar for that. Most of Atlanta kind of goes into first off shop mode until about the 23rd. So all of the shops in town are going to be open, and most of them have extended hours too, just, getting people in, getting them what they need before the holidays. Tourism side of the house, it's just, we've been doing a promotion all of December on our social media pages, where we've been pulling up old holiday advertisements from the Atlanta Argus, which was our old paper, no longer in circulation. But the Atlanta Public Library has a really great Argus archive. So we've been finding these old ads, and we featured this past week. It was an ad from the 40s from the Palms Grow Cafe.
Oh, wow.
And the owners at the time, in their Christmas message yesterday, was Fred Kopp's Supermarketette, which no longer exists either, but many people in town remember growing up, going and buying their groceries from the store. So it's been really cool. And we have a couple more still scheduled to be posted between now and the 25th. But finding these old advertisements, putting them out there, seeing people's reactions as they reminisce on their childhood, they share it with their family. It's been really cool. It's probably my favorite thing that we've done, social media promotion-wise, side of the house, that I think I've ever done.
Nice. Very good. Very good. Well, Whitney, I'll tell you what, we're just a touch ahead of a timeout. If there's nothing else on the Christmas season you want to highlight, we'll take a timeout. Did we miss anything you want to put out there as it relates to Christmas?
Just don't forget to come in town and check out the lights. If you do see our Bunyan giant right now, his hat is hand sewn, and it's custom to him. So come and see his Santa hat.
Easy enough. Very good. Whitney, let's take a time out. Come back with some more. Whitney Ortiz is the director of the Atlanta, Illinois Tourism Bureau, our guest on the phone. More to come with her on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn higher, beans double-digit higher, wheat also trading higher. March corn 6.53 1/4 up 6. May corn up 5 3/4, 6.53 3/4. July corn 6.48 1/2 up 5 1/2. January beans 14.83 3/4 up 23. March beans up 21 1/2. 14.85. May beans 14.87 3/4 up 20 1/2. March Chicago wheat up a nickel, 7.53 1/2. May wheat 7.61 up 4 1/4. January bean meal up 4.80, 4.53.90. January bean oil 65.87 up $1.46. Livestock market January feeders up a nickel, 182.15. December live cattle 155 even, down 27 cents. February lean hogs 84.92 down 77 cents. Energy market January crude oil up 75 cents, 75.94. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Are you a friend of agriculture? This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton. We're giving a $500 Friends of Ag discount to anyone that orders a new Chevrolet or Buick to be built just for you this month. Are you a friend of ag? You are if you're a member of any ag organization, employed by any ag-related business, including research, inputs, manufacturing, sales, and marketing, and of course, ag education. Come in, order yours today. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4 lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Whitney Ortiz is the director of the Atlanta, Illinois Tourism Bureau, my guest on the phone. And Whitney, as we look to the off season and kind of this slow time for tourism, what will keep you busy during the winter months? What do you turn your attention to?
So we are working on here in Atlanta a new signage project. So we do currently have like tourism signs up at attractions. So if you come, you're not sure what you're looking at, it has like a little descriptor by it. But we are going to be working on updating them, adding some more context, some more resources to go to, especially if you want to capture images from the past. So that way it's all right there and really incorporating QR codes, phone technology, things that, when the signs were created didn't really exist. So now we can update them and add those little bits to it, as well as more adding new information that has resurfaced recently. So that's going to keep me pretty busy. We also are having our second ever Valentine's Day market on February 11th and 12th, and it will be completely indoors. So no need to worry about the cold. It will be inside. We will have the coffee truck back, the one that came to the Christmas market. And it should be a good 2 days of getting inside, socializing, shopping, enjoying, a gooey cookie from Missy Sweet Shop, a nice hot latte from Brew 66, and really just having a good time with, maybe not the best weather outside.
Question. So very good. Whitney, when it comes to the off season for you, I know you turn your attention a lot to research and special projects. Anything that you've come across in terms of what you'll be looking into this winter? How about that?
So it was interesting to see every year, and I've already compiled my annual report for this year. I look at the data, I look at, where people are coming from, what events brought people in, what are they wanting more of? So it's been really interesting comparing it to last year's data and seeing that people want, a bigger cruise-in with more car cruise-ins with more stuff to do versus having, fairly often car cruise-ins, which is really neat because I just thought, twice a month sounds good. But no, they want maybe once a month and having more fanfare with it. So we're definitely going to have a bigger to better sort of cruise-in season next year. We are also been attracting more and more bus tours, especially as they started picking up steam. And to do so, we actually partnered with a photographer and videographer. He was from Lincoln. Now he's up in Elgin, Illinois. But luckily, he came back down to finish up our project. So he did some photos for us this past winter, which we have been using and promoting on social media, on our website, and advertisements. And we actually were able to get a really, really neat 30-second ad for Atlanta. We utilized, there is a car club down in Lincoln, Antique Car Club. So we had them come up with their cars and, you know, their folks. And we pretty much stimulated a real tour group coming in, parking the cars. We did some drone shots. It was a lot of interaction with guests and me interacting with them as like a tour guide. And the final copy looks amazing. So we're going to be packaging that up too and promoting that to our different groups, whether it be organizations, bus tours, guided tours, car groups, things of that nature. And I'm just very pleased that the project has turned out so well. We'll also be running some social media ads with it too. So be on the lookout on your Facebook pages and on your Instagram reels, because it will be coming your way.
Now, in terms of visitors for these car cruisings and such, Whitney, like, do you compare, you know, how many guests you have and how does this year's numbers compare to last year's?
So the numbers, we had more people at the events and less events. So we didn't do nearly as many car cruisings as last year. Some of that was due to rainouts. Whenever it rains, we cancel the cruise and nobody wants to come in the rain to a cruise in. So we had a couple of rainouts and we had one that we had to cancel last minute due to a scheduling conflict. So with there being less car cruises this year, we still have significantly more people for our so we do a big kickoff to summer cruising. We saw almost double the people come to it than they did last year. So I think we're going to be focusing more on the first bit of the cruising season. That's where we saw more numbers versus, you know, in July and in August when people start getting busy with their families, their summer plans, other club commitments, and they're not able to come to these cruise-ins.
Yeah. Now, when you think about the feedback you got that these folks want bigger cruise-ins, more to do, what does that mean for you? Like, I'm kind of thinking, as you're talking there, I was kind of thinking like, you know, maybe food trucks or, you know, like things, entertainment for kids, things of that nature. Like, what do you think that means?
So it does mean some of that too, as well as creativity. So coming up with something that other cruise-ins aren't doing, because they're not going to want to come and do the same thing they can do the next weekend. So like I know this past year we had a caricaturist come and do caricatures of people with their cars. He will be coming back for sure, but we're going to add other elements to it. So we've looked at having a face painter for some of the kids, doing some activities for like little kids too, to, you know, just interact with cars in a safe way for them, but also in a really fun, stimulating way, because, you know, not every kid wants to stare at cars. We want them to, but they don't always want to. So finding ways to get them engaged, you know, doing a scavenger hunt, really cool stuff with prizes. We're definitely going to have the coffee truck come for at least one event. We're looking at getting a specialty food truck for one or two of them. So really just adding more to the experience, having a more like holistic experience versus just coming, socializing, you know, grabbing your lunch, bringing it back, but adding more elements to the event.
Yeah, sure. Very good. So look forward to all those things. Anything else come to mind, Whitney, for you in the off season, and you know what's coming up for you, what you'll be working on or looking into? How about that?
Well, I've been applying to some grants and I'm still waiting to hear back. So our fingers and toes are crossed that I will get at least some of them so we can have some more exciting projects in the pipeline. But more to that, once I know definitively what that's going to look like. Also, we'll be applying for more grants too in the off season, as I have the most time to research and to do the writing for it. Unfortunately, with grants, it's not something you can sit down and write in 5 minutes. I wish it was. So it gives me more time to find some really good quality grants for projects that we've already been talking about and looking into, and getting the funding so we can go ahead and start them.
When it comes to grants, what do you need grants for? Why are those important for the Tourism Bureau?
So right now we're trying to get not just grants for new projects such as, you know, different buildings, different attractions, but getting grants for recycling containers, more trash containers, because a part of tourism people don't always think about is it's also the aesthetics of your town and how you throw stuff away. Is there litter lying around? Is there enough spaces for trash cans? Are they being proactive in recycling? Are there bins for that? Which I'm going to be honest too, I didn't always see that, but one of the conferences I went to up in Bloomington this past year talked about, focusing on your main street and looking at not just the people and the stuff to do, but looking at the parking, looking at the sidewalk space, looking at all these other things that when you're excited and you're planning stuff, you forget about unless you realize, oh, we have a big issue because there's trash on the ground.
Mhm.
So looking at grants for some of these items, just to make it, a little bit more cleaner. Not that we're not a clean town, but providing more access for tour groups to have places to dispose, to recycle. We've been looking at grants to help repair parts of the street for some of our tourism bits, and to help just the flow of traffic go a little bit more smoothly.
Mhm.
We've been looking at some, better signage for our grants too, just to make it more clear what's going on, where to find it,
Mhm.
and incorporating new graphics with those signs, which, all these cost money. So grants really help alleviate the cost
Mhm.
and make it possible.
Yeah, no question. Very good. Well, best of luck with those endeavors, and hopefully that they are fruitful for you. Whitney, as I look at the clock, I've got about 30 seconds with you. What did we miss today you want to put out there for us?
Come to town, check it out. While we still have our decorations up, they will be starting takedown right after Christmas. If you're interested in seeing houses that are decorated, we do have a map available on Visit Atlanta, IL on Facebook, and to be picked up or can be picked up at the Atlanta Public Library. They have printed copies of the lights map. So come check us out while we're nice and festive and decorated. Before it becomes covered in snow.
Sure. Whitney, always good to talk to you. Thanks so much for making time for us. Whitney Ortiz, Atlanta, Illinois Tourism Bureau.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton